I'm in Conwy in North Wales this week. Today I'm breakfasting with a member of Nigel Farage's newly formed Brexit party. He's a member of the European Parliament, a British member of the European Parliament, campaigning for a second term in Brussels. It's Nathan Gill. Good morning, Nathan.
Good morning.
Thank you for hosting us here. So first of all, just tell us why we're here.
Well, Conway is pretty much in the heart of North Wales. North Wales is my home. I live on Anglesey, which is just about the most beautiful place on earth.
Now, did you ever think that you would be here a month after Britain was meant to leave the European Union, campaigning to try and get back into Brussels?
No, absolutely not. The 29th of March, I had planned to take my family to Brussels to watch the Union Jack being taken down, and then we were going to go on holiday, and then I was going to start my new life as a non-politician.
Well, who do you hold more responsible for the failure to get Brexit finished by now? Is it Brussels or is it Westminster?
Well, it's Westminster, and specifically Theresa May. She put herself right at the forefront of Brexit, of the negotiations. She ignored her own Brexit ministers. She allowed them to think that they were negotiating Brexit when they were not.
We told our viewers that we were coming to interview you, and one of them tweeted back saying the only reason that Nathan Gill wants to go back to Brussels is for the salary, for the pension, and that if he really wanted to change Brexit and make Brexit happen, he'd go into Westminster.
Exactly.
What would you say to that?
I totally agree with that person on the Westminster point. So yeah, if we are going to do what we've said and actually change politics for good, that means for better and also forever, then we need to get into Westminster, and we have to break this two-party, seesaw mentality that we have in Britain.
So why are you focusing on getting into Europe, getting into Brussels?
It's the first election that's coming along for us. We only founded our party 4 or 5 weeks ago. We've only launched it 3 weeks ago.
Although it comes off the back of UKIP, many of the personnel are still from UKIP, and UKIP had much longer and didn't.
I don't know. Look at the candidates. Only 3 of us: Nigel, myself, and Jonathan Bullock are from UKIP.
Beyond Brexit, what would be your mandate? Your party has no manifesto. It says it's not going to have a manifesto until after the 23rd of May.
I've got a big beef with manifestos because, quite frankly, 85% of the current MPs were elected on a manifesto that they would uphold the Brexit vote and that we would leave the EU and not be in the single market or the customs union. 85% of them on that manifesto, and they've broken it. What's the point of manifestos when parties can just break them at
The point
will?
of manifesto surely is to
Is something in writing so that people can break it.
And to hold the party to account, and also potentially to give an idea of policies so that people know what they're voting for beyond Brexit.
But people don't trust manifestos anymore. That's not to say we're not going to have a manifesto, because I'm sure we will. And
So
we're working
should
on one.
people not trust yours
We're working
either
on
if you
right
have a
now.
manifesto?
Well, the UKIP manifesto of 2015 was widely acknowledged to be one of the best written manifestos.
If we look even at your past voting record, there are many, many, many more votes against than there have been in favour. It looks often as though even if you thought possibly the policy, the resolution was sensible, you either abstain or you vote against, because you say that member states ought to be able to decide this themselves rather.
So even if it's something that on the face of it you think to yourself, this is wonderful, this is going to be so great for Europe, our red line has always been member states are the ones who should be legislating for their own countries, not the EU.
But can you see that in the European Parliament there's a sense in which you're not entering into the voting sincerely? You're essentially saying, even if I think this is a sensible policy, I'm going to vote against it purely
because we will.
My objective to sort of destroy Europe from within is stronger than my objective to get something passed.
It's not that we want to destroy Europe from within. It's that we want to make sure that sovereignty rules.
Could you see a European Union? Would there be a European Union that you could be a part of?
No.
Even if it allowed that sovereign decision making, it was a union in any other name, could you see any sort of community in which you could exist?
Maybe what we thought we were joining in 1973, when we thought we were joining an economic trading area, but actually, even that, no, because Europe is going down, the world economic list, and the rest of the world is booming.
All right, so then by your own
So
admission...
I'd rather trade with the rest of the world.
But so by your own admission, you can't reform the EU from within to something that you'd like to be a part of, so why bother be there?
Why is be there? Well, as I said, we're going there to be that standard bearer for all of the anti-EU parties who really need somebody to help them.
But that is to destroy Europe from within. That is to get everybody out of Europe.
That's for each individual country to decide for themselves.
Although if you want to lead that charge, you are becoming that standard bearer. You're saying, I tell you what, we're giving you the option to try and leave, and the absolute consequence of that is that Europe falls apart.
Only if Europe behaves so badly that people then start voting for these parties. That's democracy, isn't it?
I've got a little game I'd like to play to finish, which is a word association game where I will say one word to you, and I'd like you to try and reply in 1 or 2 words to me.
Okay, go on then.
Brussels.
Sprouts.
Wales.
Brilliant.
Breakfast.
English.
Jean-Claude Juncker.
I was going to say something mean then. He's a very nice chap. I can't say that in one word though.
Give me 2 or 3.
Gentleman. He's a gentleman.
Nigel Farage.
Amazing.
Populism.
Better than unpopulism.
Theresa May.
Disaster.
Immigration.
Necessary.
The Irish border.
A non-issue.
I wish we could have more on that. And finally, the Queen.
A stalwart.
A stalwart.
Stalwart, yeah.
Nathan Gill, thank you very much for having breakfast with me, for hosting me for breakfast. It's
You're
been a
welcome.
pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.